This car is going to be the death of me. It is the afternoon of the next day after getting the fuel tank put in and having some more FiTech issues on the old 57 here. And as I was finishing up yesterday, my battery, GoPro batteries both died. So I didn't get a lot of filming of the FiTech troubleshooting or just shooting in the dark or whatever I was trying to do to figure this out, because I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. But let me recap a little bit. So I got the gas tank in, I got, I bathed in gas, all that stuff. That's in the previous video probably. I got gassed where I knew I had gas at the carburetor. There's some more YouTube comments, thanks guys. And the dang thing wouldn't start. So what did I do? The first thing I did, well, I just checked and made sure all the wires were hooked up. Everything looked like it was hooked up how it was supposed to be. I went and grabbed the voltmeter. That was almost 12 at cranking, but still no good. Voltage might have been a little low, like the battery was 12 something and I was getting 11 at the white wire on the FiTech maybe. So I put the battery charger on for a while, put it on full bore, boost start or whatever, where they even shows me like 15, almost 16 volts at the battery, and still nothing. Cranky, no start. Dumped some gas down the carburetor or the fuel injection throttle body, and it would fire right up. If I add gas, it would start, but the FiTech itself wasn't adding any gas. I had an RPM signal on the dashboard, and yeah, I don't know. I tried jumping power to the white wire right from the battery. I tried jumping power to the blue wire right from the battery. Nothing. And then one time, just out of the blue, it decided to start right up. All right, well, I got it running. I don't know why or how. It has something to do with the voltage. Got the battery charger hooked up to it, and I've done it several times. I got it on boost or jump start, boost start, and all of a sudden one time it started. It didn't do it before. So somehow it has to do with the voltage. I need to get some more grounds on this thing, and a better battery maybe. I didn't really change anything other than I'd been jumping things, but I didn't really change anything. I had the battery on full boost, but I had done that several times with no start, and then one time it starts, and then the next time it doesn't start. I still don't know why it was starting and not starting. Then I couldn't get it to start again for a while, and then I was dumping gas in it and it wouldn't start even with doing that. So I pulled the plug out and made sure I still had spark. I had spark, but then it almost acted like it was flooded. So I don't know if at some point it was giving it too much gas. So then I kind of held it open for a while and got it to start, and then it started acting like it was working and then kind of not working again. All right, so I've got it to start a few times, but it's still kind of random or sporadic, like it'll start and then it won't start, and it only starts with the battery charger on full boost. And when I do that, the gauge, the little FiTech dashboard, this guy here has a battery right there, battery voltage. And yeah, so like right now it says 4.10 volts. If I go out and measure the battery, it's gonna say like 13 and some volts. .1 is what it says right now. So somehow there's a miscommunication between how much voltage is in the battery and how much voltage is getting to the little dashboard in there. And when it thinks it shows low volts, it won't fire, even if I'm jumping a wire. Yeah, I don't know. It's some sort of voltage issue is what's causing it to not start. It doesn't think it has enough volts. So I'll try the grounds, and then maybe a new battery if we have to, and then we'll probably, if that doesn't work, we'll probably take this thing off and throw it in the garbage and put a carburetor on it. I don't know if I'll throw it in the garbage, but I'm getting tired of screwing with it, I'll tell you that. So I rerouted the blue wire. A lot of people say that gets like interference. So I isolated it all by itself, kind of. It used to run with the white wire down through here and up and over to the coil. So I got to do something a little fancier eventually, but now I got it going all by itself over here, up to the top and down to the coil. So it's not near any spark plug wires. It's not near any other high voltage wires. Let's see. I also cleaned the ground on the block. I added a ground strap, you can see there maybe, from the block to the frame. I added another one over here on the side of the car from the body to the frame. All right, operation add some ground straps is what we're at right now, and I'll take you down here and show you. Just went and got some goodies. So the battery is currently grounded, or was, I just loosened it, to this fuel pump block off plate. And that's, I guess it's working. They didn't, it's painted. There's a little bit of bare metal there. It's all oily, a lot of rust, so it's not very clean. And then also, I mean, there is a gasket isolating between, the plate and the block. Well, I guess the bolts go through, so I mean that should work good enough. But I am going to clean this off, and I'm going to reattach it right here to this motor mount spot. And then I'm going to take a ground strap and run from another one of these down to a bolt on the frame here, wherever up here there's a motor mount I think will work. And I'm going to clean all that stuff off. Then we'll have a solid mount. The battery will be grounded to the block will be grounded to the frame, and then I need to find a spot to ground the frame to the body. So I should have good grounds everywhere. The FiTech is grounded right to the battery right here. That's all tight. That's tight. So I don't know. It was just, then all of a sudden it just started working. I did the grounds and it fired right up with without the battery charger hooked up. So I thought, I fixed it. That's what it was. It was just grounds. It was getting confused. It wasn't working because of that. And then I shut it off, and then it wouldn't start. And it wouldn't start again until I added the battery charger. And then again, without really changing anything, it just started kind of working. So it'd start, but then the idle is really, really rough. Like it idles, then it almost dies, and then it idles high and almost dies. When it was doing that, I messed with the blue wire. Okay, so I didn't do the blue wire thing. That was after the grounds, because when it was idling and almost dying, I would mess with the blue wire, or I moved the blue wire a little bit, and it seemed like it got better, and then I moved it again. So Dan had a splice in that blue wire, and I cut that splice off, and because there was a little bit of, kind of like the wire got a little hot, it didn't really seem broken, but I cut the damaged piece of wire out and I added a new wire, and then I re-isolated it, and that didn't really seem to help. It still would start, wouldn't start, and it was idling funny. I got it running good enough that I took it around the block a couple times, and then it acted like it was fine. Then I come home and shut it off, and it won't start again. So I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't know if all these problems are stemming from the fact that I got a points distributor. Everybody wants me to put an HEI in here. There's not enough room back here for an HEI cap. I mean, I can't even put my finger behind. There's like a 1/4 inch behind the distributor to the firewall. So yes, I could do an aftermarket distributor, and that's probably what I need to do. But I also was hoping to just get this running without dumping a bunch of money into it, because I got more projects in the Montana garage over there that's where the money is supposed to be going, and I don't have money for those either. So anyways, I don't know, I'm gonna fight with it a little longer, and I might just end up putting a carburetor on this thing because I'm getting tired of messing with it. So let's see what it does here this morning. It's actually afternoon, I guess. Whew, it is hot in here, these black interiors. So I got this turned on already. Key on, fuel pump. Fires but dies. No fire. See, now look, I got like some weird 59,000. It just went away, but the RPM said like 59,000. It's showing probably correct, and then it goes blank. I don't know if you can see that. And then start. So consistency, no. Oh, you see there, it almost dies, and then it comes back. Let's see if it keeps doing that. It was doing that yesterday. It idle for 8 or 10 seconds, almost die, come back. I sprayed around with carb cleaner all the way around the throttle body, all the way around the intake. I can't find any vacuum leaks. I'm kind of running out of ideas here, folks. And when I drive it, it's still, I mean, it runs decently, but there's still like a low RPM miss. I don't know that that's the FiTech problem. I guess I need to pull all the plugs again and see if anything's going to tell me anything there. But once it gets to about 2,500 RPM, it smooths out and runs great. But below then, it almost feels like it's, I mean, it's got a miss. It's like it's running on 7 cylinders or something. So I don't know what that's all about. Anyways, I guess we'll keep battling. All right, just had it run and shut it off just to see what happens here. Oh, see, fire and die. Alright, so I know there's some settings on the FiTech for like after start and stuff like that, and I've played with that a little bit, but I guess the moral of the story is before the fuel tank issue, it wasn't doing that, and I haven't adjusted those values since then, so I don't know why all of a sudden now it won't idle smoothly, consistently, and now it seems like it's idling fine, where just a second ago it idle and drop and idle and drop. Guess I need to contact a FiTech expert, because that ain't me. The worst part about having all the issues with that dang 57 over there is it's taking up all my time. And look at the 55. I haven't touched this thing since for a couple months since that car got here. I need more time, I guess is what I'm saying. So I didn't realize I'd be spending so much time trying to get that reliable or drivable, and it's still, I'm scared to go to the gas station right now without somebody here to rescue me if I need it. So I guess we're not at reliable status yet. And while the weather's nice, I got to get all this crap primed, so I better get to it. We are going grocery getting in the 57 Chevy. I am not super confident that I'm going to make it home, but I got help here in case I don't. Still just kind of having some random no start issues with the FiTech, but anyways, I'm going to risk it, or try it, see what happens. So first of all, I guess, let's see if it'll start. So far, so good. All right, first stop, gas station. I put a little bit of gas in yesterday when I was fixing the fuel tank. I got to put some more in. And oh, and by the way, I fixed the fuel sending unit, but we still just say full. So apparently that wasn't the problem. I have to check the wiring on that gauge, or maybe get a new gauge. But first stop, gas station, then we're going to get some groceries. So let's go. Let's see, I've got to turn my little gauges on that I like. Back. Probably shouldn't do this while you're driving. Low traffic zone. Let's go with coolant, select, and then because I'm having trouble with the battery, somewhere in here there's battery voltage. Select. Alright, so then on the dashboard there, the screen, we got our air-fuel ratio, we got a little tack here, and coolant and battery, and then another tack is down there, and I need to figure out a different way to mount something because I can't see my tack, but it's on there. But I like looking at the old school one. Anywho, I should probably clean the window one of these days too. Put it on the list. doesn't help. Whew, sweating already. Open my 1957 air conditioning. Oh yeah. That window for the win. Can you feel that? I can. Alright, see you at the gas station. So we just put in like 7 gallons of gas, crawled under, made sure I didn't have any leaking. I don't want to put too much in until I'm sure there's no leaking, but haven't seen leaks so far. Let's see if it starts again. Hey, we're in luck. Off for groceries. All right, leg 2 of the journey. We made it to the grocery store, the same place we broke down last time I was here, so hopefully it goes better this time. I don't have any keys to lock this thing up, so I will take the keys out of the ignition. And I don't usually lock stuff anyways, but I don't want to carry you guys, the camera, inside with me, so you guys hide under the seat, and then I'll be back in a little bit. All right, I'm back. I bet it was hot under there. Let's plug in the old computer. Not sure what you're looking at while I do this. And yeah, see if it starts again. Oh, I guess I gotta find the keys. I'm not used to taking the keys out of it. Hopefully they're in my pocket. There we go. We got fuel pumpage. Oh. Start or fire, no start. Well, that's what I was afraid of. Alright, don't fail me now. Getting that weird RPM signal thing. Alright, I'm gonna jump to the white wire just to see if that helps. All right, in this instance, I jumped jumper wire. Hopefully it'll keep running from the alternator to where I got the white wire, and it started. So again, it's like a low voltage issue. I'm gonna have to try a new battery. I'm sure the wiring needs something else, but I mean, I think I have everything wired how it needs to be, so I'm not understanding what's going on, but new battery's the last thing to try, but it shows voltage when I measure it. I'm at a loss. All right, let's see if we can get home. I made her home. Let's shut her off and see if it'll start again. No issues on the way home other than it still is running pretty rough down low, like off idle and low RPM. It cuts out a little bit and just, it almost feels like it's like running on like 7 cylinders or something. Once you hit about 2,500 RPM, you can see, you both hear and feel it just smooth right out. I can't figure out if that's a FiTech thing or some other tuning thing, but I've done everything I know to do. Here she goes. Well, same as at the store, start or fire, no start. And now she's cranky. See, and I'm only showing like 5 volts there. If I go measure the battery, it's gonna have a lot more than 5 volts. But I guess I need to get some help and measure the battery while I'm cranking. Maybe that's the whole issue, maybe the battery. So now it says 12.5. Then the battery voltage goes away and no start. Let's go jump that wire again and see if that is enough to do it again. I mean, it's got to be a voltage issue. So what I'm doing here, this is the hot wire from the battery to the alternator. So this is basically battery voltage right here. And this is where it's yellow now because I've had to add to it, or Dan did. But this is basically the white wire to the FiTech. That turns that pump on. That turns, well, this is already, see, now it's showing a little bit of voltage. It's not showing anything till I crank now. Now see there, it's showing 12 volts. voltage to the white wire, obviously. So somebody suggested wiring that with, oh, see, now look at that. This is what it was doing the other day too. Idle fine, and then it almost dies. There we go. And that time it did die. It was cycling back and forth, idle, almost die, idle, almost die, almost die. I don't know if that's a voltage thing too. The voltage is saying, you know, it's staying above 12 on the screen. I don't know what it is at the white wire. I assume, you know, that's where it's reading it from, I believe. So, I don't know. I don't know if this is all FiTech adjustments. It wasn't doing any of this idling issues before. I've had plenty of hard starting issues, and I think I mean, I understand that's a low voltage thing. I don't understand the off idle, low RPM miss and stumble, and I don't understand this kind of fluctuating idle thing. So, more work to do to figure it out. FiTech issues update. I have decided that I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I finally had a little help out here. So I had Trey turn over the engine while I was testing the battery, and if it cranks more than about 2 seconds, it drops down to almost 10 volts, even at the battery. So I don't think this is going to solve my low RPM issue, because once it's running, the alternator should be making the power, but hopefully this will solve my sometimes start, sometimes not start thing by having a better battery. Now I've charged and charged and charged that thing, and it'll crank it over just fine, but I think the voltage just isn't high enough for this FiTech. So anyways, I'm going to turn into just parts changer guy, I guess, and change the battery and hope that that helps. New batteries installed. I made the mistake of not measuring this battery box when I left, and I knew this battery was a little small. It looked like there was a ton of room, so I got one of these bigger ones, and it kind of fits in there. I mean, it's in the spot, it ain't going nowhere. This has like a, looks like kind of like a homemade battery box anyhow, so I may have to do some modifications down there at the bottom to get it to sit in there, but it's tied against kind of just a piece of the bracket there of the heater motor thing, and then it hits the just this little corner here. I might be able to beat that over just a hair, and then it'll maybe fit a little better, who knows. Anyways, we're probably gonna call that okay. I think, I don't know, my 57 battery I think is the same size as my other 57, but maybe that one's a hair smaller. We can swap them around if this helps. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. So they both have about the same volts sitting there, but like I said, the other one upon cranking was dropping way down. First test with the new battery. So far so good. Not getting the weird idle fluctuation. Saying 13, 14 volts. Should go up if I give her a little. First start was a success. Let's try again. Two in a row. We got three. Well, I'm going to call that some sort of win. I don't think I got it to start 3 times in a row for the last few days of messing with it. So, I don't think that's, or I don't know, I don't think it's going to fix that low RPM miss. But I guess we'll go for a little drive here in a little bit. But for now, I got to go inside and make some tacos. So I go in and eat my tacos, come back out thinking I'm going for a cruise, and we're back to no freaking start. It started once when I jumped from the alternator to the white wire, but then it died, and now it won't even start when I'm jumping that. I'm going to put the battery charger on it. And the battery showed like 12 volts when I first put it in. It might be a little low if I'm sitting around forever or something, and I haven't had it running that much, I guess. I just start it and let it run and shut it off to make sure it's going to start. So maybe, hopefully, the new battery is just low. Let's see what it tells me when I put the little magic sticks on it here. It says 12.63. I don't know. I'll put the charger on it for a minute, see if that makes a difference. And then I guess my next idea or thing to try to hopefully solve this is to wire this white wire that goes to the FiTech that has to have a constant 12. Not, if it drops below 12, shit like this happens where it won't start. So I'm going to try to wire that through a relay, and I'm kind of old school and not a wiring expert, so I don't even know if I know how to do that, but I'm going to figure it out, and we're going to try that and see if it helps. Just hooked the battery charger up. Let's see what she does on boost. Still showing like 5 volts there. I know I got more volts than that at the battery and even at the white wire if I check it, so I don't know where that gets its number and if that's why it won't friggin' start. So now it says 14.2 there. See, and then it starts. So when that number's low on there, for whatever reason, I didn't change anything. The battery charger was hooked up for 15 more seconds longer, but it would not start, and then it started. So that's the part I can't figure out about this. Is very inconsistent. It's just like it's fine and then won't start. So it's a head scratcher. I'm running out of ideas here, folks, but one thing I haven't done, it's getting a little dark as you can see, is this car, when I got it, had these cheap clamp battery terminals that just clamp onto the cable. Now this one broke, so I replaced it with a, like a one-piece unit. It's not a cable with a clamp on thing. So I guess my only hope here was taking this apart, is it didn't look bad, but I'm wondering if maybe I wasn't getting a good enough ground through this cable. I've already cleaned and redone the other end, and this has like a little bit of grease on it. I'm sure somebody put that in there to cut down on the corrosion or something, but I'm going to clean that all off of there, clean up the inside of that. I'm not optimistic that this is going to make any difference, but I'm just trying to cross all my T's and dot all my I's or whatever, and make sure I'm doing everything I can. I'm losing voltage somewhere, somehow, at random sporadic times. I can't figure it out. One more update. It's 10 o'clock and I'm still out here messing with this thing. So I cleaned up the grounds from the battery cable where I showed you it has the hokey cable that clamps on to the cable end or the terminal or whatever. I cleaned that up, and then I attached the FiTech ground to, I guess I can show you rather than try to talk about it. So I cleaned this up and readjusted that, and this is the FiTech ground. It was on here and it was tight, but I don't know, I just liked here better, so I put it on there. And then I took this bolt loose and I cleaned that. It was kind of oily and greasy feeling underneath it, so I cleaned that up, made sure that's good and tight. And I guess that's about the only really changes I made, and at least recently here tonight. Oh no, that's not the only changes I made. I did go into the dashboard here and I went into some of this tuning stuff and I adjusted the figure out how to work it here. And these numbers aren't right because I don't have the power to it, but I adjusted the crank fuel up, the after start up, because it was hard to start and then it wanted to die, and then I gave it a little more early warm-up fuel also because of the way it was idling up and down. Now those numbers, I didn't mess with them before and it wasn't doing any of this stuff, but since I changed that and then adjusted those grounds, it seems to be working better. I just went for a little burn, and it didn't fix my little low RPM miss though, so that's still happening. And then I had a couple other little fun events here. I got on it a little bit to see, trying to check out that miss, and the old throttle pedal stuck to the floor, so that was kind of fun. The first time I just hit the brakes and it popped up. Second time I had to shut her down. So I looked at that briefly when I got back here, and I have to make a change, but there was this cotter pin was jammed over here on the other side of this, so I assume, let's get you right side up there, I assume this, so it's got a super long cotter pin in it, and it was pushed up and jammed over here, so I'm assuming that was the throttle sticking issue. So I definitely will be changing that, and I need to do something a little different with this linkage anyways because of the way the throttle pedal's so high in the car. But now tomorrow I'll come back out here and it probably won't start, but so far for tonight I'm kind of at a happy spot to quit because I don't know, the last 10 times I've tried to start it, it started right up. So I guess the biggest thing that did that probably was cleaning those grounds up. I made sure they were tight before, but I never took them loose and looked at them, so I should have done that a lot sooner, obviously. And who knows, maybe it's just warmed up now and it's working, and in the morning I'm going to be back to who knows what's going on. So anyways, I better call it here tonight, put my crap away, feel like I end with a win, and hope for the best tomorrow. Well, it's a few days later. Oh, Moose wanted to come on up, and Moose and I are out here messing with the 57 Chevy again, and just wanted to post another, or add another update to the video here. So where I left off, I cleaned some grounds up and it was working. I actually drove it in town a few times, and this is a couple days later, and it's been working pretty good. It's given me a couple hard starting issues, but let's see, the other day I drove it, I parked it, I was having some idle quality issues, so I went back into the dashboard over here and I adjusted this thing called IAC steps. It's some little idle adjustment thing. I shut it off, and then after I shut it off, this is what I get. Nothing. Back to no start once again. So I am kind of at a loss here. So quick refresher of everything I've checked. White wire needs 12 volts at cranking. I don't have it probably hooked up in the best spot, but if I jump it straight from the battery, it doesn't start. I've added a new battery that has good voltage. I got the battery charger hooked up. With the battery charger hooked up, I'll get like 14 plus volts. And I'll show that here. And at cranking, it might drop down to 12 or just maybe 11 and a half. But no start. I've hooked that directly to the battery, where the battery, you know, is 13 or 14, no start. I've redone this blue wire that goes to the coil. I got it away from all the spark plugs. Still no start on that. With that, let's see, I redid all the grounds. I added a ground down there, a ground to the body. I tried to get a new cable, but I don't have one the right size, so this looks loose, but it's just, I mean, it's just wiggling right there. It's tight in there. I can't pull it out. I do want to get a new battery cable there that, you know, is more like this kind that is not clamped on. So that's, you know, something I need to try, but it is getting good ground. You know, I fixed and cleaned this ground. And the weird thing is it works, and I don't do anything, and then it just doesn't work. When I'm cranking, like I say, I'll have 13, 14 volts here, with my test meter, but the FiTech will, the dashboard in here will show, you know, really low. It'll go down to like 4 volts. Like, I don't have their battery charger turned on right now, but it's probably got, you know, 13 volts in it. And when I crank, I get voltage readings there, but look how it jumps all over, and it's never, and then it just disappears. I'm starting to think that there's something wrong with the computer, but it's probably just something I'm screwing up. But I guess my next steps is I need to get a hold of FiTech and tell them these symptoms I'm having, or how the voltage is showing lower in there than I'm showing out here. Is that normal? If any of you guys know, I guess you can tell me. I don't know what else to do. I actually dug through my crap today to find my carburetor, because I was gonna put my carburetor on it, but my carburetor off my 55 has been sitting for freaking 8 or 10 years, however long it's been, and it's all nasty looking, and it's gonna need cleaned and probably rebuilt. And I would rather just get this darn thing working, but I'm kind of at a loss and very frustrated and kind of over it, to be honest with you. So a couple other things to point out for anybody that's trying to help me out that I forgot to mention. So cranky, no start, no fire. But if I dump gas down the old throat here, she fires right up. So, and obviously because it does that, it does have spark, but I've pulled the plug out. It's got spark. The spark looks a little weak to me. But I haven't messed with the points again or anything, because it does have spark, like saying it'll start up. If I dump gas in, if I loosen this fitting right here, gas squirts out. So gas is getting to the throttle body, but it's not giving the engine any, apparently, is what the situation is, for whatever reason. So yeah, I checked. I get gas to this is the FiTech, their little pressurized pump. So this is where the fuel line comes in. I'm getting gas there. And then, like I said, I checked up there and we're getting gas. So it's not no spark and it's not out of gas. It's just cranky, no start, because I believe that thing is not giving it any gas, because if I give it gas, it starts right up. So there you guys go. Help a guy out. What's going on? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna close her up, put the air cleaner back on, unhook the cables, close her up, and push her aside for a while, see what FiTech has to say. I thought I was going to be able to just tinker on this thing a little bit and drive it, but it's driving me crazy instead of me driving it. But anyways, that's probably just because I'm not smart enough to figure it out, like I said before. But I'll get some information from FiTech, and hopefully we can put her back together, or maybe I'll find a good carb and just go that way, because I am over it. But I probably got enough footage here. Hopefully I can come back in the next video. Probably what I'm going to do is start working on something else for a while. So I need to get some work done on the 55. So I'm just going to kind of push that thing away for a while and get back to work on this. So hopefully the next video will be that, or maybe this 57 delivery that I keep talking about. Or maybe I'll be back with an update that I have this thing running, but I'm kind of done messing with it, so that ain't going to happen real soon. So anyways, appreciate everybody watching. If you got any tips or tricks or advice on how to make this thing work, a lot of people's advice is take it off and throw it in the garbage, and that's the advice I'm leaning towards right now. But let me know if you can help. Otherwise, make sure you tell a friend, hit the like. I guess that does something. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys sticking around and watching. And yeah, maybe we'll have happier news next time.